presented by County National Bank at Ella Sharp Museum. And our next guests are panicked that it's a month away from County National Bank, Amber Yoder, and from Ella Sharp Museum, Jeremy Frew. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
I saw you look a little nervous when I said it's a month from today.
Yeah, we got to figure out how to distribute all those tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's started. The work's going, the planning's been going. We're on full throttle.
Well, before we get to that, we've got a big weekend coming up here in Jackson County. What do we have?
Well, I was sharing with Amber a couple similarities to Art, Beer, and Wine. This is one of the biggest events at the museum a year, and it's also built on community partnerships, and that's Free Museum Day. Experience Jackson is the backbone of it, but all the museums around the county and the area are free admissions. At Ella, we'll probably see around 4,000 people this weekend. But again, what I love is it's very similar to Art, Beer, and Wine. It's about partnerships. And one other thing, Bart, that's exciting, and I said this last time, and I told you earlier, Tyree Guyton is at the museum right now. Right at this moment, and people can go watch. We've left it open. He's building the exhibit for the Heidelberg project that opens on Saturday. But the museum's free right now because a lot of it's being built, but folks can go down and see it being built and even visit with him right now. So that opens on Saturday too. But I also know we're excited here today because we could talk about our great partner, County National Bank.
Cool. Also Saturday, free books from
Free books.
Jackson Reads. So kids get, I think, up to 10 books.
It's amazing, and I'm just telling you, if you want to just come down and feel proud of your community, come down and watch these kids with these books and the smiles. I know you were there last year. It's again, there'll be over 4,000 people there,
Yeah.
and it's again the community coming together.
And what was really cool, I mentioned this to you last year. As soon as you get to the museum, Jeremy Frew is standing right at the front door, holding the door open, welcoming you to come on in. So I think that's pretty cool that you're the.
I'm a very good doorman, Bart. So thank you.
All right, let's talk about Art, Beer, and Wine. This is the 20th anniversary, Amber, and County National Bank. You've been a big part of this for a long time. Why does CNB get so involved in a festival like this?
You know, first and foremost, it's, as Jeremy said, it's a partnership and it's about bringing people together. So we love the event. It brings in so many people, not just local, but out of town to get familiar with Jackson and the things we have to offer. And, you know, Community Bank, our purpose is to serve the community in however we can. So we do the sponsorship, but we're also there on hand with the hospitality tent. You'll see our associates everywhere. They utilize tickets, they're volunteering. So it really is a great opportunity for us to kind of showcase our presence in the community.
Yeah, really, it's a great chance to see the people of CNB. You're all there from Joe Williams on down.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And you do some fun things too, like cornhole and giveaways and stuff like that.
Try to make it interesting.
Amber and I were talking, Bart, how important presence is, and the fact that they're all there, not just enjoying the festival, they're a big part of our volunteers. I mean, as you know, this event doesn't happen without volunteers. And so for County National Bank, they're not just a sponsor, they're a partner, and they show up. And that is really important. So we're very thankful.
You need like 400 plus volunteers, right?
Yes, but come on now. Yes, we're a month away. No, we had over 300 last year, and I was sharing with Amber, we're going to be fine. We really had such a good event last year with our patrons, our sponsors, and we do a lot for our volunteers. They get free passes to the museum. We have an after party just for the volunteers. They get a t-shirt, they get admission. So it's a great thing. But yes, we can't do it without our volunteers. And a great sponsor like this, they do both sponsor, but also they're present and they're helping us make the event happen.
Yeah, I talked to someone who drove by the museum last year at 11 p.m. and they said, "What's going on at the museum?" I said, "Nothing." It's the people who got a ride home and left their cars till the next day.
Yep.
Which is great.
Yes.
What's new? Anything that guests can look forward to?
Yeah, I think, and we talked about this last time, I shared this too before we came on. One thing we're excited about, we are going to have more artists there than we have had in the last 10 or 15 years. We think we have more artists than we've ever had in the history of the event. And that is really important because, yes, we want people to enjoy their beer and wine and their ciders or what have you, but the art and the music. So I think we're going to have more artists, and I think a big thing is, we did this last year, it's not brand new, but it was new last year. We're focusing on the entertainment and the art as much as we are on the beer and wine.
We've got some shots. This is where you see volunteers because
Yes.
the winery or the beer people, they can't give the
Nope.
wine. And our volunteer shirt, we
There
appreciate.
you go.
We're going to have those this year again, and I do love seeing those folks walk around. And what's great is they all become Ella workers for a day, so they all become part of the family. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
And once they do it once, I mean, they're
Oh.
clamoring to find out when they
Yeah.
can sign up for the next year. So
Well, they get so much. When you're a volunteer, you really, well,
Oh.
you get free admission to the thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and the after, I didn't know there was an after party.
We started that last year. Again, we really want to make it special to volunteer. We want them to know that we understand what they're giving. So yeah, we had an after party. We're going to do that again this year. And also in the past, the volunteers have met in the planetarium. The community room is going to be the volunteer area now, which even makes it nicer. We want them to feel special and different.
Is there a VIP section this year?
Yes, of course there is. It's in the granary. And one thing that we're doing a little different on the VIP is if you buy a VIP ticket, you get to come in at 1 o'clock and the event doesn't start till 2.
Oh,
So there's a real, we thought there's a way just, because getting in is always a big challenge. And so that way the VIP folks, they'll actually have a different little ticket than everyone else that they wear around, and they can come and they can go in an hour early.
one year I volunteered and I was assigned to the VIP area, which I guess I can say now was zero work. So
Thanks for your honesty, Bart.
Right.
yeah, it's a pretty cake assignment. So I don't know if you get to choose where you volunteer. I'd suggest the
Yeah.
VIP room.
Yeah, I tell you what I do. Obviously I'll greet, but I like to go out and help do the wristbands, because that's how you have to do before, and see where everybody's coming from. And you can have conversations of like, what are you doing here from Ohio? And are you an Ohio State fan? That kind of stuff. You can play with the patrons a little bit. That's a fun thing to volunteer, and it goes so fast. And the people are just so excited to get in. So that's one of the things I think is good. And so,
For someone that's never been, what advice do you have? You know, about parking, about getting early tickets, things like that.
Well, I think definitely the early ticket sales is a key to
Yes.
make sure that you're prepared and you're ready to go in there. You know, I've never had a problem with parking, no matter what time I get there. Sometimes I've been there before it starts
Yeah.
to set up our area. Sometimes I come in and relieve the person who set up, and people come and go throughout the day. Some
That's right.
people hang out for the whole time, but I think I've never really had much of a challenge with parking.
yeah, there's parking at the park. You may have to walk a little bit, but
Yep.
in terms of a big event, this is nothing. This is, the parking's there, but you may have to drive right. It's in the park. There's all kinds of different places to arrive to. Usually it may be early, but since we start at 2, we typically dodge the soccer and so forth, which is a challenge.
Yeah, well, your soccer ends the week before
Yeah.
Art Beer and Wine, but your soccer's still going on for Jackson Reeds, which is perfect.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of kids
Oh.
in soccer shirts.
I'm glad you bring that up. Yeah, one of the best things for me was full soccer teams would walk in for free museum day, and you could probably argue they may not have been there if they weren't, and their coaches were bringing them in. I'm so glad you remind me that they were in their cleats, and of course some of the museum people were freaking out, but it's carpet, give me a break, it's grass, it's okay.
Yep.
Some of the museum people, Jeremy, you're one of the museum people.
I know, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, you were fairly new. You're a fairly new museum person last
Yeah.
year. So
Yeah.
this will be your second Art Beer and Wine as director.
Yeah, I think it's like September or something, it'll be 2 years, so, yeah.
How do you like it?
I like it, and I said this to Amber, one of the things that I like is that it's no different than my past job. In reality, it's about partnerships and communication and being open and not being afraid to say yes. Like I was joking about the soccer, but in the past there was an exclusivity at the museum where they wouldn't let people in their cleats. I'm letting them in, it's not hurting, and these people need to experience museums. So I love it, yeah, but it's because of the partnerships in the community.
All right, well, let's get people all geared up for the upcoming events. First up, Saturday. So free museum day. You're going to do all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of things.
It's opening day.
Yep.
It's
Farm Lane will be open, free books, all kinds of things. And also don't forget all the other great museums too.
now if you could go, because people probably can't physically get to all 12 or 13. you only could go to one or two. I would say go to
Yeah.
yours, because you've got a lot going on. Yeah.
I got to be careful that I will. I'm not answering that question.
Well, maybe,
There you
know,
go.
we've been doing this for 7 years or so, so each year you pick two, and then in 10 years you'll have them all knocked out, 5 years. Okay, our beer and wine, get tickets in advance. It could sell out, couldn't it?
Yeah, and if you want to get in early and have an hour of everything to yourself, buy a VIP ticket. And there's a lot more that goes along with that, but that early entry is a big thing for people.
And Amber, anything new County National Bank that you want to pass along today?
We're actually getting ready to do a ribbon cutting at our East Lansing Loan
East
Center.
Lansing?
East Lansing. We moved north a little bit. And so that's coming up. The office has been staffed for a little while, but we wanted to really have good weather for a ribbon cutting and a chamber event up there. So that's coming up, but we've got some loan officers up there, and they're doing gangbusters in Lansing.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, all we need is good weather, and we probably will have it.
We're gonna.
Good to see you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Bart.
Thanks.
Working on Art, Beer, and Wine, presented by County National Bank at Ellis Sharp Museum, Amber Yoder, and Jeremy Frew.